afternoon, good evening. Today we have Zsofía with us, who is the knitter, crafter, creator, and the new podcaster behind Berke Creations. So welcome and thank you for being here, Zsofía.
Thank you, Nico, for asking me for the interview and for being so open about my podcast and what I do. So thank you. Hi, everybody.
Your podcast.
Yes, so hi, everybody. I'm ready, camera. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I know. I sometimes I feel nervous about like doing these things, but I feel like when I'm talking about wool or knitting, I have a lot to say. Whereas maybe in other situations, I'm a lot shyer.
Yeah, I mean, when did you start your podcast?
Only this summer, so summer 2020, because I wanted to join the knit 3 words challenge when I made my little cowl, and my friend said, well, if you're gonna join the challenge, then you have to be a podcaster. So I started to make videos. And
great.
And you started really recently, right?
Yeah, I just started 1 month ago, but yeah, I'm so excited about it, and I think now it's starts to go a little bit smoothly, and I have so many ideas, But you know how it was. Like I was planning for the beginning of the year, and then when it was the first lockdown, I was like really like thinking like, oh, I should really do it. But look, it took me more than half a year to actually do it.
Yeah, and what was the thing that like led you to start? Like, how did you decide? Okay, I'm gonna start doing it. Today's the day.
It was because it was end of October, and in our garden was all these beautiful flowers still, and I just started taking short videos of them, and then I was like, okay, then this would be a really nice start of podcasting with the end of October, just I wanted to I don't know, have this atmosphere of calmness and nature in it, this slow life thing in it. But yeah, so I actually managed on the last day of October to finish everything and upload. So this was like a motivation, like at the moment you just have to act, like if I would have postponed it, probably I would not start this year.
Exactly. Sometimes you just got to go, just got to do it. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, so tell us, not just me, tell us where you're located. I always like to ask people what part of the world they're in and the geography and the landscape, and I'm very interested in your region. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, so I like to say that I'm from Transylvania because Transylvania is like very multicultural part of Romania. So here we are not only Romanians, but I'm Hungarian. So this part is like in the middle of Romania, and my little town is exactly in the middle of all. So we are surrounded by the Carpathian Mountains on 800 meters altitude.
Wow.
Yes. And yeah, with the mountains, and what can I say? It's this area where actually 3 languages meet in older times, or 3 cultures, or even more. Like we had, of course, Romanians, the Hungarians, and then the German speaking, the Saxon, the German speaking. How to say it? Population. So it's very interesting because in some places there are still the names of the cities or the towns are in 3 languages written. So yeah, that's why I like to say that I'm from Transylvania and not from Romania. If somebody knows about Transylvania, knows that it's in Romania. So yeah.
Exactly.
But else.
That's funny that you say that you like specify, okay, I'm from Transylvania. I feel similarly when I talk about the United States. I say I'm from New York because like the United States is such a big place that New York is set apart from the rest of the country. But I am always very interested, or I have been interested in Transylvania because my great grandmother came from there, and I was telling you, Sophia, that what we know about my father's grandmother is that she came from a little town in the foothills of the Carpathian Mountains, and so from your region. So for me to be able to see footage of the plants that are growing there. I saw that you had California poppy in your video. And so I was thinking, wow, that's so interesting to imagine the landscape of where my great grandmother comes from. So I appreciate your videos because of that.
Um, Thank you. So yes, I'm actually also interested at what is the name of this little town you mentioned from your great grandmothers?
My father sent me a message, and he told me the phonetics of the way that he learned where the town is. So let me tell you. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce it correctly, but he said that it sounds like in English, Supish Bela. Does that sound like anything familiar to you?
Tell me again.
He said, Supish Bela.
Okay, I need to think about it.
I know, right?
No.
Because it's kind of like that game where like someone says one word and it gets passed to another person, another person. Okay, I'll send you a message and maybe you can imagine or something. Or I'll try it. I'll try and investigate more.
Yes, but Hungarian is like a kind of interesting language, and also my town. Okay, I can tell you guys, everybody, that my town is called Gyergyó Szent Miklós in Hungarian. Okay, it's a long name, and then in Romanian it's called Györgyén, and in German it's called Niklasmarkt. So, so I don't know now. You said this name of the town, and I don't know if maybe it's in Hungarian, maybe it's in Romanian or German, or yeah, it's
yeah,
right now.
we need to investigate a little bit more. But
Yes,
so do you speak English? You speak Hungarian? Do you also speak Romanian and German?
yes,
Uh-huh.
yes,
Okay, that's
yes.
amazing. Any other
I do
language?
speak.
And you speak a little
Yes.
Spanish too, right?
Uh, Not really. When I was in the Camino, I spoke a little bit. So yes, we how to say, mother language is Hungarian. Then we learn in school Romanian like 2 times, 3 times in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I was a kid, we started with German also, and then when I got older, picked up English too.
Wow.
And I started actually a few years ago learning Japanese, and I really like it, and I want to continue. It's on hold now, but I want to continue and perhaps learn together with my son.
I wonder if you
Yeah.
could find any Japanese knitting podcasts and maybe you could watch them.
Yeah, I think that would be too much for right now. I tried a German podcast, and I see that I still need to get into the vibe of it. How to say, all these terms and everything. I mean, I don't even know the right terms in Hungarian for knitting, because I got so into the English patterns, that for so many things I just don't know the Hungarian term.
Yeah. Yeah. That happens because if you learn something, if you learn a sport or a hobby or some, or even cooking in one language, maybe you don't know the translation from another language because you've always worked in that other language. Very cool. And I love that you started having some phrases in Hungarian in your podcast. So you're going to teach us some Hungarian. I think that's great. I'm so excited. Oh, you're a little bit frozen.
Thank you. Yes, actually, you're not the only one who said.
Good.
Okay.
Now we're good. Now we're good.
Then I can wait.
It's the okay. What is
It's
it?
good now?
It's the technology devil. How do we
So,
say?
how we say in Hungarian?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, technical ördöge, a technical ördöge. But do you have this like you call the devil of technology, or just you call the, I don't know, the complication of technology, or how do you say this in English?
I think we just say Mercury retrograde. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think that we have that. But when you were talking about this technology devil, I was like, yeah, I think we just blame it on Mercury. So yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Okay. So many people asked me to introduce actually Hungarian and mostly Hungarian knitting terms in my podcast, and I find it a good idea. So I'm expecting from everybody later to ask me specifically what word they want to hear, but I have ideas, and it's interesting because so many knitting terms in Hungarian are like have double meaning. So it will be really fun to explain those. Like for example, stitch is in Hungarian you say szem, but szem is also the eye. So
Really? Oh wow.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
So it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
No, and
Okay. Very nice. What are you drinking, or what were you
okay.
drinking?
Yeah, I'm almost finished. I'm on coffee. It's my coffee. Just black right now.
That's how I drink my coffee.
I don't present cups because I don't have. Yes.
What did you say? You don't present cups?
I am on. No, I present cups because I don't have so many nice cups, and I just like I would feel awkward to present a commercial cup on a podcast.
That's really funny. I love cups, and actually I had one that broke not too long ago, and I was very sad about it. And the other day, my dear friend Natalia, who's probably watching this podcast, sent me this cup, and it has a picture of me and my dog, and it even says Nicole and Oso. And when I opened the box from her, and she sent me yarn, and she sent me a book, and it was a surprise package, and I just cried, and I was so excited. So now I have a cup, and I can present my cup, and it says,
Yes.
"Love is a four-legged word," because it is. I've got my puppy right here. Right, Oso?
Sweet.
This is my cup commercial.
Okay, great.
So the knitting, what are you knitting on these? Well, we know from your podcast, but what are you knitting on these days? Anything interesting?
Okay, yes, I have something very interesting now in mind because I was kind of inspired of all these knitted fairy lights. And then I went out and searched for the cheapest one, the cheapest fairy light, 20-meter fairy light. And I found something in the local Chinese shop. So after our interview, I'm gonna actually record like a short video about it, and I'm knitting on that, but I can show it to you. What can I say? Try not to be too critical of myself, but this is like more like
Oh, I had I love it. I had no idea what you were talking about. I thought that you were saying like maybe you would like knit some kind of casing for the fairy lights, but no, you're knitting the fairy lights, and I've seen that. Very cool.
Yeah, you've seen that, but my fairy lights are black because this was my only option in the shop, here locally. And it's just very different from this. I couldn't call them fairy lights, but that's why I say it's dark and will be.
But when you plug them in, they'll be beautiful. I love that. That is.
You will see. You will see. I'm recording after or later today. Little chit chat video about it, and I will have also some exciting news. So I plan a little knit along. Just anybody who wants to tune in with what I'm doing anyway. So yeah, I want to do. Okay, I can tell you. I want to do. Christmas ornaments every day, one little one, like a mini one. I like to send them in a post to some of friends, you know. I can just pop in a letter and just send it, you know. And of course, for us, for the tree. So I'd like to invite other people, other knitters to knit just a little mini ornament. Beautiful. You started it already.
I did it. This I got in the mail with my herbal tea swap that Maria of Ninja Chickens organized. And this I got, and it's so soft and so beautiful. And I have it on my little tree here. But that's a great idea. And so many people who have like yeah, that's a great idea. I love that. So you're starting that like now, like the first day of December.
Yes, I want to start on first day of December. So today I'm gonna announce it, and then tonight I'm gonna make my first one, and then tomorrow we can start on the first day of December.
I love it.
So yes, I think it's a great thing to send it in a post to someone. Yeah, I'm also so I am also in the tea swap group, so it will be interesting to also share the teas on the podcast every day. So it's like, you know, like a vlog mass, but I don't think I'm gonna ever go out from this corner for this short episode.
I know. Yeah,
but this is what it is.
Yeah, Vlogmas is fun. I have my tea swap, and I'm so excited about opening all the gifts. I am counting down for December 1st, but tomorrow, we're like there. This is it. It's so fun. It's so fun that we kind of met each other, or were able to talk when we did the test knit for the seer cloak, which I decided to wear right now. My beautiful cloak. So that was what was that, like a year ago, 2 years ago already?
Yeah, it was 2 years ago, because I was still pregnant. Yeah, your cloak is so beautiful. I love so much the color, and it's so good that you're wearing it. My cloak is also here, but I never wore it.
I wear it
because this was what can I say? This was my second test knit for Maria. The first one was a cowl, and then I signed up for this, and this was like a really long project for me because I I was overly ambitious with it, okay? And that's the problem with my cloak, because I made it so much more longer.
It's beautiful. Yes, I remember seeing yours.
But it's huge. It's like
a blanket.
Yeah, and it's exactly, and it's so heavy that it starts the weight it's pulling on your shoulders. So it's here, it's like start to get a little bit loose, and it's not sitting right on the shoulders because of all the weight. So, but I can tell you that it was displayed on a museum here for 2 days.
Congratulations, because it really is a work of art. It is such a work of art. And you did that. Did you do that with the wool from there? I don't remember. Was that with your wool?
Yeah. Yes, this wool is actually the wool from this Berke sheep. So the local sheep.
Yeah.
yes, so about the exhibition, we got this exhibition because how started everything. I started learning, like, first of all, dyeing wool. You know, there is like a very talented woman here who's a weaver and natural dyer. And then she started a class and I signed up for it. And I ended up to be the responsible one for the photo shooting and for the Facebook page and everything. So, and this wool is actually mostly used around here for weaving carpets. And I was just like, okay, but I have to try to use it for my knitting. So it kind of worked out. This part you can see it's all naturally dyed. This is actually what I did during the class.
I love it.
And yeah, and so that's why on the end of the half a year class, we or 3 months, I'm not sure anymore. We had everything displayed in the museum, you know, all the rocks, all the weaving, and other stuff from this Berke sheep.
The Berke sheep, very
so
nice.
it's really lovely, but I think I'm gonna have to do some surgery with it because because I really want to wear it. So I have to. I think I'm gonna cut the color work and even cut everything shorter. And I really want to dye it in a red color, but it's very different. Very difficult to achieve red, you know.
Well, with cochineal, if you had like a lot of I think that would be very expensive. Very expensive, exactly, because you need a lot. You need a lot of cochineal. I actually just dyed one of my sweaters with some cochineal.
Actually, too.
Yeah, I only had a little bit. So what color would you prefer?
Yeah, do you have it here? So yes, I was thinking of trying to with Madder, but that's still not accessible around us. You know, I still have to order it. So maybe it will be green after. You just have to. I want to start dyeing again when we move to the homestead. You know, because I prefer to do it outside, not in the apartment or in the house. And then I can experiment with more colors. And when it's spring, then all these plants which come out and so on. So,
absolutely.
Yeah,
and you could
just the plan.
You could just start collecting nettles and nettles and nettles and nettles. And if you get enough of it, you could get a dark green color.
Yeah, nettles are my favorite plants anyway. I eat them, everything. I tried this year, I tried the seeds because after, you know, pregnancy and postpartum, all my hormones were like crazy. And they say that like nettle seeds are balancing your hormones. So I'm just really fan of nettles.
Me too. They're my favorite. I love nettles. I think they're amazing.
Do you have your sweater here with the cochineal?
I can show you. And honestly, I am a little bit disappointed. Well, first of all, it's still wet. So it's very, very wet. Let me just turn it inside out. So this is a sweater that I knit years ago. And I had dyed it with woad and with onion skins to do the color work. And it was like a light cream alpaca that I got, I think, from Drops. And the other day I spilled a little bit of red wine on it. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to dye this all with some cochineal. I had a little bit of cochineal, like probably maybe 2 grams or something. And not enough. So I made a bath of cochineal and I put this in there. So you can't even see it. It's like a very light pink. Can you even see?
It's beautiful. Yes, it's a baby pink or
yeah, it's like a baby
how
pink.
You call it.
I was very surprised. I didn't know what was gonna happen. I don't know if you can see.
And the color was initially dyed with onion skins.
Well, no, the onion skin actually is kind of covered up, but here they're like crosses that were yellow and then the blue. This is the Tecumseh pattern.
Okay, and
So you can kind of see
yeah,
in person,
yeah.
I think you can see the yellow a little bit. I don't know. I'm gonna see how it goes when it continues to dry. I'm happy with it, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would have been sad if I covered all of the color work up with a really dark red anyway. So I guess it worked out. The thing was, it
Yeah,
was,
and you can see this.
yeah.
Sorry, you have this light. How you say light con? This easy contrast. I like that because like every time, so many times they advise you to choose very high contrast colors for your color work. But I really want to try this kind of when you use low contrast colors together. It looks beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm excited to wear it. It's like my favorite warm sweater. So,
It's
yeah.
great that we can, even after a project, we can still do some surgery or some alteration on it. So many options.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think what you should do with your cloak is maybe you can like cut off a section and then reattach the color work. So I think that the color work is really beautiful at the bottom. So maybe you can like get rid of like a portion of
Yeah,
this and then somehow like
yeah,
Kitchener or something.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I wouldn't throw away anyway
Oh,
this
you know,
color work
I
section,
rarely,
but
I
yeah,
honestly, I rarely wear mine
yeah,
also. But I know it's a piece that I'm going to have forever, and it makes me really happy. It was like the most difficult thing that I had knit, and it's like a piece that makes me feel really happy, but I don't wear it very often. But that's okay. It'll last longer.
yeah. But in Spain, you have also very high temperatures, right? You cannot wear wool all the
Oh,
time.
that's not true, actually. I live in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains. So where I live, we're at about like 600 meters, I think. And it gets very cold in the winter.
Mhm.
And the heating in the houses, we don't have heating. So I wear wool all the time, layers and layers of wool. So, so
Okay.
I'm wearing this right now and I'm very happy because it's nice and
Okay,
warm.
yes. So then it's my misconception.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean, in
one
summer
day.
it's hot. Yeah.
You should go, but not exactly summer. In the summer, it's in the middle, and a meseta, it's gonna be so warm that it's impossible.
Yeah.
You know, I started in the spring.
In the Camino.
Many people start in October. Yeah, yeah. But it was like the greatest adventure. So that's why I'm asking because you are there. I hope at one point I can do the Nordic part, the Nordic route, which is like more next to the sea, next to the
Yes.
coast.
Yes, I would love to do that. It's crazy that I've never done that, but the thing is that I don't know, I always have this dream of doing it from because they say that the Camino de Santiago starts at your front door. So like technically you should walk from like your front door to Santiago. And I
Yeah.
always I always say that I want to do Camino of Santioso because my dog is Oso and I really want to go with him. And so I always think like, oh, I would love to go with my dog and walk there, but I don't know. I've never done it yet, which is crazy. I need to do that. Yeah.
You can totally do it with your dog. I saw so many people who did it with a dog. At one point, even somebody offered to give me a mule, you know, and I could just like go with the mule. But then I was like, oh, sorry, but I don't have experience with such big animals. I don't know how to take care of him. You know, like, but I saw a girl who had a mule and she was walking with her mule. So,
Yeah, that would be nice. And then you have a friend the whole time, for sure. Very nice. So tell me, how long have you been knitting? When did you get, there's my pup. When did you get into working with fiber?
Oh, he's so cute and white. Wow.
So hi.
So to concentrate on your question. Yeah, I mean, when I was a kid, of course, I learned from my grandma and my mom. And then in school, I was already pretty much advanced, and I started actually to do a lace sweater when everybody else was doing maybe just a little headband. And I have somewhere a very red sweater that I made in that time, because it's very good. I'm very happy that we learned this also in school. You know, it's like almost like the up north in Norwegian or Swedish countries. You know,
That's amazing.
So that's great. Yeah, and then in 2014, when I was in Germany, I found Ravelry, and I signed up, and I bought my first pattern, and I bought to buy the exactly matching yarn for it, you know, because in Munich you have all the endless possibilities. And then I knitted several months, but then I forgot completely about everything. So I started again 2 years ago when I was when I was expecting, and I did also the seer cloak. That was one of my first projects, and since then I cannot put it down. The knitting. You know, it's like some of in a family, some people already have like kind of mean remark that, oh, you're always knitting. But I'm trying to tell them that, yeah, I guess you have to get used to it, that when you see me and when you talk to me, I will be probably knitting. So, but that's what I like, and that, I don't know, I think it's great that you can do something while I'm speaking or watching a movie or whatever, or even walking. I like that too.
So. Wow, walking. I haven't mastered that yet, but very.
I tried a few times, even with the stroller. I remember I was just like with my elbows pushing the stroller and knitting like this.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-knitters
even now I
don't understand. Yeah.
They don't understand. Yes, that's right.
But yeah, always knitting, always knitting. The other day I was at my friend's house, and her boyfriend was like, but do you really always carry around like socks or something that to knit on? I'm like, yeah, it's necessary for me. Like, I need to have something in my hands.
Okay, just a moment. It looks like my son woke up.
Oh,
sorry.
Hi. It's okay, and I can let you go if you want to get him. Yeah.
No, yeah, I get him. Yes. Wait a moment.
Okay. The joys of being a mama.
Oh, so mean.
Probably heard you, and he was like, "What's going on?"
Oy, oy, oy. Oh.
Good morning,
yes, it's
sunshine. Buddy. Hi, were you just dreaming? I woke you up. Oh,
yeah.
Hi. Oh.
It's fine. It's just yeah, probably the sounds, and
He was like, Mama's talking to someone. I'm curious.
Sorry?
He heard you talking to someone, and he was like, what's going on? I want to see what's happening.
No, what should we do, Nicole?
Oh, I can let you go. We can finish, but this was beautiful, and we can meet another day and hang out again and talk more. now it's time for family knitting. I think I'll probably go out with my dog because he wants to go for a walk anyway, so it's perfect timing.
Yeah, you do that? Okay.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect.
No, lampo.
Okay.
Lampo?
Lamp. Hey, sweetie.
This is
All right. Well,
favorite word.
it was so beautiful to hang out with you, and we'll have to do this again. Absolutely. And
Okay.
yeah. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. We can talk again another time. This is perfect. Oso's excited. He gets excited. He's like, it's time to go for a walk.
Yeah.
Okay, so see you soon. Have a lovely day. Okay, ciao.
You too. Bye.
Bye. Ciao, baby.